I'm David Nelson. I'm the F35 Site Lead Test Pilot at Patuxent River Naval Air Station, where we test the F-35B and C model. There's 18 pilots of the F-35 in the world, and 3 of us fly all 3 variants, and the others fly the variant that they are specialized to. I consider all the pilots that I work with top in their game. They're world class. They're very good at what they do. All the people in the world who have their skill set would fit in a rather medium-sized room. They've been through a military test pilot school, which is a year long, and they all have an engineering or a theoretical science degree. They have been competitively chosen to fly the F-35, and there are very few slots, and so you can see that the people that I have working for me are all very elite, I would say. Each of them has at least a couple of thousand flight hours, and there's some that have 5,000 or 6,000 flight hours, and having flight hours is very interesting. It's something that pilots keep track of. The reason being is that flight hours are necessary to keep on top of your game. They're also necessary to spin up to full speed on your game. Each of the pilots who flies for me has their own story on how they got started in aviation. Some of them, it was something that matured in their mind over time. In others, it was more sudden. But in each case, it led them to a point in time where they realized that they could do something that they really thought was significant, something that they were suited for, and something that maybe not very many of the people in the world were suited for. And so they began to pursue with great intensity this flying career, which is really fun. And when they started out in their flying career, it would have been very presumptuous to have assumed that they would have been in this position a few years down the road. There's so few positions to do something like this, especially in this age where we don't fly too many new fighter planes anymore. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for most of the pilots that will fly the F-35. It's a tremendous opportunity, and they've been preparing all their life to be here. It takes very intense concentration and preparation. At some level, it has to be compulsive. The pilots study these things over and over, and they pursue them with great vigor. They think about it in their leisure time, and then when they get at work, they get to do it for a living. We have something that's kind of semi-formal called chair flying, and it's where a pilot will sit in a chair like this one and pretend he's got a stick in one hand and a throttle in the other, and he'll walk through each different step in the mission that he's about to go fly, and that way he can look at different facets of that mission, and it's not just a rote repetition that goes over and over, but rather it's a looking at it from different angles. What if the generator failed? What if the engine quit right here? What if I blew a tire? What if there's clouds? What if the ceiling's low that day? What if my radio goes out? And it is very typical for a pilot to spend a lot of time what-ifing the situation so that when the real thing comes along that he's not surprised by anything. Will the pilots make mistakes? Even the ones at the top of their game will make mistakes, but they usually only make them once. And it hurts enough when they make a mistake that, well, they won't repeat that one. And they usually don't make big mistakes when they're well prepared. So mistakes, yes. Failures, yes. But they come back with great energy to overcome them because they're fascinated by doing it right.